He raised his index finger, a mischievous grin spreading across his face. I know, he just needs to pretend to kill it, and I'll do the real work. Alex and Zeke were both astonished. Deus explained his plan. First, Alex would approach and talk to the dragon. Then drop it in front of the defective product. At that moment, the defective product would swing his sword at the falling dragon. Deus even imagined the scene, Zeke standing on the dragon, swinging his sword. The surrounding people would cheer. He's a hero, he saved us. So cool, he saved us, because other people would see and think he was the name of that defective product. Came and killed the baby dragon that was attacking this scenario, making Wretch cry, and it was all over Alex. Everyone knew he was speechless. He decided to voice his doubts, but everyone will suspect something if a low-ranking soldier like Zeke suddenly kills a dragon. Furthermore, wouldn't a low-ranking heroic associate make you too conspicuous to live peacefully? Deus didn't answer. He abruptly turned to Zeke, his eyes gleaming with a predatory hunger. Zeke's blood ran cold. Why are you suddenly looking at me like that? Deus didn't answer directly. He ripped Zeke's shirt open. Zeke couldn't react in time, only managing to blush. Deus grabbed a pot. He used his eyes, like lasers, to punch 2 holes in the pot. Without a wasted motion, he plopped the pot onto Zeke's head. Zeke yelped in surprise. Deus didn't care. Behold, the masked hero, Zeke, with a pot on his head and a cape fashioned from a waiter's uniform, only his pants remaining, shyly screamed in his mind, "What the heck is this?" Deus's eyes and lips curved into a smile. A hero needs a mask. Now, no one will notice the appearance of a mysterious hero. Isn't that perfect? Alex bent down and grabbed something. Adjusting the hat, he said to the protagonist, "Then I'll bring the dragon." Deus gave a thumbs up. "Okay." Alex prepared to fly, but Deus turned to Zeke. "Let's go." Zeke was flustered. Embarrassment caused him to sweat profusely, his face turning bright red. Are we really going out like this to fight a dragon? Thinking he might be missing something, he looked around and saw a weapon. Without hesitation, he kicked it over. "Here, a holy sword." Zeke picked it up. Upon closer inspection, it was clearly a floor mop. Zeke's bewildered expression irritated Deus, who reminded him with a terrifying demonic voice, "Stay still and hold that mop, even if the dragon is right in front of you. Afterward, I'll give you fame and fortune far exceeding anything you can use." He sweated even more after this statement. Zeke had a feeling he couldn't comprehend what was happening. Suddenly, he clenched his fist as if he could destroy anything in his path. The air around him changed and he let out a roar of extreme desire. Probably coming from something deep in Zeke's blood. A hero's instinct always sleeps inside his red blood cells, his heroic blood. Wanting to tear the Demon King in front of him into pieces, surrounded by the black color of demons and a savage smile, he, but because he didn't know what was going on, Zeke thought like this. Seeing Deus's eyes, he found courage. It felt like he could actually gain fame and fortune. He was overjoyed, his eyes sparkling like a child's. "Yes, my lord." Deus ordered him, "Go, my attendant." He quickly obeyed and ran off. On the other side, the dragon was spraying fire everywhere. The cries of the people echoed in the chaotic scene. "Help, someone save me." The dragon continued to roar terrifyingly. It circled upward with its own fire, then flew in another direction. Before it could fly far, a purple circle appeared in midair, with a pair of legs sticking out from below. Then Alex appeared, ironically, a devil standing on a cross blocking the dragon, not a hero. Alex's expression was unclear. But at this moment, the dragon's vision was obscured by Alex's magic, and it roared. Alex grabbed one shoulder. With a pull, a part of his true form was revealed. He had many arms. It was the familiar hat-adjusting motion again. Using the dragon's wing as a springboard, he leaped high into the air. He landed on the dragon's body with a thud. All of Alex's dozens of arms rose high, continuously striking the dragon. His hands aimed for the dragon's golden heart. The dragon's heart was enveloped. Alex threatened, "I've grasped your heart, don't defy me or my orders. I'll ask you this first." Alex's eyes glowed red. He wanted to know, "Why did you appear here? Don't dragons and humans have a pact?" Suddenly, his eyes widened. On the dragon's back, Alex and his invasive hands looked monstrous, each purple one having an eye. Alex was incredibly surprised. What the? The dragon mumbled in an unintelligible language. Alex's face became terrifying. How can a dragon like you know that filthy language? What are you? Something's not right. The dragon plunged from the sky. In the distance, on the ground, Zeke walked with firm steps. He held a broom, a pot on his head, wearing only shorts, trembling amidst the burning scene. He glanced to the side at the sound. What was that? Two people looked down from a window. Who is that? Why isn't he running away? Others around joined in. He's going to fight the dragon alone. Is he a hero? But they commented, isn't his appearance a little perverted, or is he just a pervert? Zeke hugged the pot, trying to appear calm, but inside, a sea of tears welled up, shame, fear, and embarrassment mixed together. Deus, seemingly unconcerned, sat on a vehicle, waving his hand. Masked hero, go, save our Jor. Zeke heard the voice, turned around. Sir Deus. The surrounding people, hearing about a rescuer, cheered. The masked hero, he's really here. Is he a hero? There, Sir Hero. He shyly raised his cleaning broom. Thank you. Everyone gripped their brooms. That's right, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Don't miss it, Zeke. His eyes grew even more determined when he thought of fame and fortune. In the air, the dragon continued to spew flames. It let out unintelligible sounds. It seemed to be driven mad by Alex on its back, flying erratically. He was riding the dragon and seemed to be having trouble controlling it. It's going to be hard to control it like this. There's no other way. Alex decided to use his 100 demon hands technique. Hundreds of arms poured out from his body. They wrapped around the dragon's whole body, the brown of the dragon, the black of Alex's sleeves, and the purple of the magic. This was called prison. Bound tightly, the dragon screamed in pain. Alex raised his hand, with the characteristic blackened claws of a devil. This is the final blow. The hands went straight into the dragon's heart. This was called heart-piercing. Needless to say, it was incredibly painful. The dragon roared, its mouth open in flames. Alex looked down, slightly confused. The purple things with eyes were tightly wrapped around his arms and body. Alex's eyes showed surprise as he heard the sound of something preparing. The dragon, with difficulty, spoke in broken sentences. I'm sure, I've seen, the one you thought was dead, returned, chaos. It let out another cry. The purple things on the dragon's back seized the opportunity and flew straight into Alex's face. Seeing the situation, he understood. So, that's it. Deus, sitting in his vehicle, had lost his patience. He shouted, what are you doing? Hurry up and get down here, the audience is waiting. He wiggled his nose in annoyance and looked at the thing in the sky. Judging that you're making a dragon, why does killing one take up so much of your time? Alex is being stuck on his body by a slim purple object flying into his eyes. Only one eye was visible, Alex understood. The dragon cried out in pain. Its purple eyes dimmed. Its enormous body was being tightly wrapped by arms. It fell from the sky. Deus, below, called out, Zeke, you good for nothing, turn around, look, it's coming. Zeke shyly turned around. Deus reminded him, keep your eyes on it, time your swing precisely, the dragon is falling and will soon be in front of you. The dragon's head was pointed downwards, its mouth wide open. Zeke suddenly called out, Sir Deus. Looking up at the dragon, sweat dripping from his brow, he mumbled, I don't want to die. Seeing the man with the broom in a defensive stance, and hearing his previous statement, Deus couldn't help but laugh heartily. He raised his hand to his chin and promised, Deus, I give you my word of honor, no matter what happens, I won't let you die. Upon hearing this, Zeke's eyes changed. A spark ignited within him. Gripping the broom handle tighter, he resolved, I can do this. Bringing the broom back, Zeke shouted the name of his technique, Moonlight Slash, first form. The dragon was now writhing violently above. Alex, on the dragon's back, was extremely annoyed by the clinging purple thing. It had already taken over half of his face. Alex yelled in pain. His hands stretched out. They gradually transformed into purple hands with eyes. They lunged to confront Alex's untransformed hand. Seeing himself fighting himself, Alex realized he was in a bit of a predicament. He looked down. At this rate, Alex wasn't far from the ground. Understanding he needed to hurry, he used the 100 Ghosts hand technique. Following this was the celestial light divine finger, a single arm sweeping wildly. This scattered the purple things, one of them wide-eyed in surprise. Alex strained to grab the thing on his face. He pulled, it remained stuck, like a fish on a hook. Deus looked up at the falling dragon, which was getting closer. He cheerfully warned, "That big thing's falling, slow down, or our hero will be crushed." At this moment, Alex was still pulling the tenacious thing off his face. It remained stubbornly attached. The dragon was now very close to the ground. The surrounding people screamed, "A dragon, it's attacking, run!" Zeke trembled. People inside urged each other, "Go to the hallway, quickly, Mom." They cried out in fear, "It's coming," watching the approaching dragon with trembling fear. Deus jumped out of the vehicle and shouted, "Alex, on the dragon's back." Slightly irritated, he said towards the dragon, "What are you doing? Slow down." But then Deus saw Alex struggling to pull the purple thing off his face. The dragon was now very close to the ground. Zeke remained determined, "No matter what, I'll stand my ground." And with one strike, he defeated it. He remembered something someone told him as a child. "Zeke, look closely." Young Zeke, carrying his younger sibling, holding a sword, asked, "Moonlight slash?" His father, carrying another sibling, his sword chipped and worn, said, "This swordsmanship is a secret ancestral technique of our family. Learn it, in case the Demon King's army invades our world." He hesitantly told his father, "The other children say I can't fight demons, our family can't either." His father gently replied, "No, you can, my son." He happily smiled and said, "Whatever people say, my secret holy family carries the holy blood of a hero. You will definitely become a demon slayer hero." He coughed a few times, making little Zeke worried, and advised him to keep practicing hard. He smiled and replied, "Yes, father." Back to the present, Zeke gritted his teeth. He swung his broom high, "Moonlight, first strike." At the same time, Alex broke free from the purple substance. As he released his crossed arms, one of his eyes turned into a demon eye. He shouted, "Zeke, help." Red energy flew towards the dragon. As Zeke brought the broom down, he shouted, "Demon King, fall." The broom, like a sword, created a bright streak of light just as the dragon touched the ground. With its massive body, it caused chaos all around. Its blood splattered everywhere. A house crumbled when the dragon's tail hit it. Zeke closed his eyes before the blood splattered him. Slowly, he opened them again. Looking down at his blood-soaked body, he shouted. He looked behind him. Dragon's blood splattered everywhere. A person, seeing the dragon destroyed, shouted, "A hero." Others joined in, shouting, "He defeated the dragon, our savior, a true hero. Surely, the gods sent him. Long live the hero." The praises made him float in happiness. Deus quickly put his hand to his mouth, coughing, "Ahem, ahem, ahem," bringing him back to reality. He whispered a reminder, loud enough for Zeke to hear but not others, "You haven't changed yet. Why are you running away?" The masked hero, he remembered, replying quickly, "Oh, yes." He hurried away immediately. Alex was standing on a damaged crucifix, injured by the dragon. His gaze followed Zeke's escape. Half his face was covered in strange symbols. He glanced to the side. He looked at the dragon's corpse. The dragon lay motionless. Considering its previous actions and the purple substance clinging to Alex, he realized that the one he thought was dead had returned. The morning was clear and bright. Deus stretched, enjoying the air. I slept well," he said. Alex placed a cup of coffee on the table. "You're awake. It's been 10 days. I was about to yawn. Deus was stunned. Alex smiled brightly, explaining upon seeing his master's dumbfounded expression, "They say people start their morning with a cup of coffee." Deus was surprised. "Oh, I see." Hearing Zeke running towards them, "Sir, something happened." The two turned. Deus was surprised by the name, Sir Patty. Zeke's face was full of excitement. He told Deus and Alex that the whole village was searching for the masked hero. They wanted to appoint him as the village hero. Deus looked at Zeke's dirty appearance and couldn't help but ask, "What happened to your clothes?" Zeke only then realized. "Oh," he said, scratching his head, showing his bandaged arm, "the village was destroyed after last night's disaster, so I helped the villagers clean up. The pay for manual labor is fine." He raised his coffee cup to his lips. "It's fine, everything is still going according to plan." Before he could drink, sunlight shone in his eyes, making him close one. He looked towards the rising sun. "Ah, waking up to the sun and drinking fragrant coffee," Deus commented. "Morning in the lower world isn't so bad after all." The room was devastated from last night's dragon attack. Alex maintained a respectful attitude. "This coffee is made from the dragon's tongue and left eye. Fortunately, it suits your taste." The villagers below were helping each other, pulling themselves out of the rubble. "Hurry up. Someone, help over here." "Oh no, my house. Mother, where are you?" Others tried to recover from the night's events. "Ugh, this is so heavy." "Don't complain. Move faster if you don't want to work all night. Try a little harder." A woman brought bread to the workers. "Eat first, then continue." They happily thanked her. Someone shouted, "Make way, make way." Others carried stones to put in baskets, telling Zeke, "Let's go." The weight made him grunt slightly. A chubby uncle, putting down a stone, encouraged him. "Zeke, hurry up. There's a whole lot more. It's heavy, but it's fun." Zeke replied, "Yes." Deus watched Zeke cheerfully carrying stones, noting that they were trying to rebuild their devastated village. He acted like a child, propping his chin on his hands. "Even that useless fellow is hard-working." Alex didn't object. "Yes," he said, telling Deus what he knew. "I talked to him yesterday. Zeke, since he was a child, has done all kinds of work. Raising a hero in poverty is expensive." Looking at the person in question, still smiling brightly, Alex continued, "Laundry, cleaning, fixing water pipes, digging graves, there's hardly any work he hasn't done." Deus seemed thoughtful as he listened. When Alex mentioned he even worked at a tavern, Deus blurted out, "So, that's it, then." Alex was confused. Looking at the devastated place, contrasting with the sparkling sea in the distance and the people below, Deus lazily said, "We've found our hero. Walking around is troublesome." It was unclear whether Deus was criticizing or praising. "Let's start with this village. It's small and insignificant, but I like it," he cheerfully declared. "This is our beginning." Suddenly, he changed the subject, making Alex turn around. Deus stood up, his face like a happy cat. "Let's go. Leave the rest to Zeke." Alex's head was full of questions. "Where are we going?" He couldn't hide his joy and happiness. "Naturally, we're going to sell the dragon's hide. Dragon hide is expensive, used for equipment. Our goal is to be in the top 2 ph." Alex pointed to the sky, remembering, "The Heroes Guild took it all last night." Deus yelled angrily. "What?" Alex added. "The dragon corpses were too heavy for ordinary people to carry." Deus's face stretched long. "Damn it, why did I kill it then?" He gloomily pointed forward, his hand trembling. "Let's go." Alex trembled as well. "Where are we going again?" Deus's eyes were filled with hatred. "Let's go tear apart those guys at the Heroes Guild." Alex hurriedly stopped him. "Wait, Master." He was as terrified as Deus. "Oh no." "Because the Heroes Guild is the headquarters of all heroes. No matter how strong the Demon Lord is, fighting them alone is suicide, and if they discover the Demon King isn't in the demon world, we're doomed." He quickly forced a smile to find another topic. "Master, you said you would side with the heroes," but Deus was now annoyed and asked again. Alex smiled, realizing he could redirect Deus's attention. "In the human world, you have to register with the Hero Association to become a hero. If the Hero Association disappears, who will recognize Zeke as a hero?" Hearing this, he stared blankly and turned around. Then he put his hand to his chin, pondering. Really, behind Alex, sweat dripped down his face. he praised himself. I just stopped the demon race from committing genocide, right? After a moment of contemplation, he had an idea. Then let's go there. Alex was surprised. He thought he had successfully stopped it, but here we go again. He revealed a demonic face and a long, winding tongue. We will compensate for the losses with neighboring countries. Alex couldn't believe his ears. I thought you were going to become deus, but never mind, he decisively stated. We'll set off tomorrow. Alex's eyebrows twitched. Can we just go back to the underworld? On the flower-filled field, Alex's voice echoed, Lord Deus. His silence couldn't stop Alex's mouth, Lord Deus. Still receiving no answer, Alex got angry. Lord Deus, you're acting like a child. Are you getting your feathers ruffled too? Annoyed, he asked, You've had enough of the lower realms, haven't you? Why don't we go back to the underworld? The entire underworld is waiting for your return. Your destiny will arrive in 20 years. We don't have time to waste. You must quickly learn the Demon King's art and become the ruler. Deus's world is none of your concern. You can't just expect me to do whatever you want, Alex replied. The reason why the Demon King will appear and attack the human world is inevitable. For 665 Demon Kings before you, both the underworld and humanity have accepted this as the natural order of things. He enjoyed the breeze in the field. If everything goes your way, what do you need a god for? I'm just doing this for fun. Think again and accept it. There are no more Demon Kings, yet, Alex snapped and suggested, then get married. At least give birth to the 666th Demon King. Anyone will do, even a deus, anyone. How dare you say that to me? You're a real demon. Get lost. Alex didn't care. Unless you appoint a successor, I'm not leaving. He lay down comfortably, closing his eyes. Fine, if you're going to be like this, stay here and be my attendant forever. Alex didn't give up. Or, how about I find you a wife, a woman who suits you? Deus threatened. You dare mention marriage after all this, I'll destroy the underworld myself. Knowing he couldn't do anything, Alex focused on driving. Suddenly, Deus asked, Is that possible? Alex was confused. What are you talking about? Deus's face turned red, embarrassed. That princess from before. Alex still didn't understand. Which princess? His face turned even redder. Alex was bewildered. This made Deus so shy that he burst out flapping his hands as if he wanted to fly. I wanted to ask, is it possible for humans to have children with demons? Alex was surprised. Oh, hearing Alex's answer, of course, they can. Deus's face lit up. Alex became like an encyclopedia, explaining, the way humans and demons reproduce is exactly the same, normally. Deus listened to a torrent of information from Alex. A man's testicles release semen. When the sperm meets the egg of a woman, it forms a fetus. The baby is born after 37 to 42 weeks. Alex went on and on. Deus put his hand over Alex's mouth to stop the sex education. Knowing he couldn't win, Alex replied, Yes, sir. His eyes suddenly changed, and then he dropped a bombshell on Deus. If you want, you can also transfer demonic genes into the bodies of others. He laughed menacingly. Then just have intercourse, and you'll get pregnant. Even a kiss on the neck has a 50% chance of pregnancy. A light kiss has a 25% chance. Deus's mind was blown. What? A light kiss can result in pregnancy? Alex revealed information that sounded like a joke. Even holding hands can make someone pregnant. Except for Deus, he believed it was true. He involuntarily lay down. What's wrong with this body? Deus's face was like wood, talking like a demon. I almost got into trouble. This body seems to be made for procreation. His eyes glazed over from the shock. Damn it, the purpose of this body is too clear, to kill and create offspring. The more I know, the more I hate it. Alex looked at his master. This body is blessed. You are the hope and savior of our underworld. This perfect body is a gift from the gods. Even that didn't stop Deus's mouth. Blessed, damn it, I'm just one of the demons born every 1,000 years. So angry, he blurted out, I don't like this blue sky and sunshine. This makes me feel pressured. What about my opinion? Suddenly, a scream cut them off. Alex and Deus both turned their eyes towards the sound. A girl was running towards them, pursued by a group of people. She wore a yellow dress. The pursuers looked extremely ferocious. riding horses and laughing triumphantly. Hurry up and catch her. The blonde girl cried out for help. Save me, I'm being chased by bandits. Alex looked indifferently and said to his master, Oh, a beautiful young lady is in danger. We must help her. Alex wondered, why, we are demons. Alex thinks so positively, you wouldn't understand, it might turn out to be a good thing. Deus looks like that, but he's suspicious. Don't you think it's suspicious? Alex asked. Why are you so indifferent? She suddenly ran towards us asking for help. Alex doesn't understand what you mean. What's wrong with the beautiful woman asking for help? Tip, it's the most classic in the fantasy genre. The girl and her pursuers were getting closer. Deus analyzed. There's nowhere to hide around here. Where did they come from? Even in the forest, it's far away. The atmosphere turned serious as Deus said, more importantly. The image of the girl and the people seemed distorted in his eyes. Don't you think they didn't notice us while chasing that girl? Deus stated the crux of the matter. The point is, neither you nor I saw them. That's strange and unlikely. If they could deceive you and Alex, then there's one possibility. Deus narrowed his eyes at Alex, who sat in front, looking suspicious. You orchestrated this, didn't you? Alex looked back and asked, What are you saying? Deus pouted. You want to use that girl to force me to produce a successor. Alex turned back, laughing scornfully. What kind of person do you think I am? I'm Alex, the greatest strategist in the demon world. I would never come up with something so pathetic. The yellow-dressed girl who was being chased earlier had run to their vehicle. She gripped the side of the car, staring intently at Deus, who was lying down. He raised his eyebrow, looking at her questioningly. The girl used the tears tactic. She looked pitifully at Deus and said, Sir, I'm being chased by bandits. Please save me. Her weak face was tear-streaked, her hands tightly gripping the side of the car. This scene would make any man want to protect her. Deus, still resting his head on his hands, remained calmly in the car. He glanced at the girl indifferently and replied, I'm not a knight, I'm a hero's assistant. The girl said oh and stared blankly, forgetting to cry. But immediately, after her mouth seemed to be reprogrammed, she continued to cry out, Hero's assistant, please save me, the bandits want to catch me. Deus changed his posture and looked at her, still not eager to stand up and help. But we are a high-ranking army that only hunts dragons. We don't do these chores. The girl bowed her head low and cursed silently. Damn, why are you so picky? Deus is not deaf. He jumped up and pointed at her. Did you just swear? She continued to act like she was crying and justifying it. What the hell? I'm just begging you to help me. As Deus maintained his indignant posture, pointing at her and about to continue his scolding, an axe flew in, piercing his back with cold, precise accuracy. Deus turned to look at the axe that had just pierced his carriage, his face a picture of bewilderment. A strange voice called out, Hey there, kid. Deus glanced behind him towards the source of the call, feeling a twinge of annoyance. There, a band of grotesque-looking bandits were riding towards them, laughing and taunting. Look at his pale face. If you don't want to die, get rid of that useless baggage. Another bandit added, What's with that outfit? Are you from the future? Oh, that, Deus said, smirking at the bandits. Speaking of baggage, my precious baggage is ruined. You, Deus's voice deepened, will be eternally burned. Instantly, the bandit leader was engulfed by a purple hellfire. The sight was terrifying. The girl was too frightened to move, only watching as the man slowly burned. The bandits, who had been arrogant and taunting moments before, could only stare, dumbfounded, as their leader writhed and rolled on the ground. Unable to bear the pain, he screamed, and looked at his unharmed companions, shouting, Help, it's too hot, put out the fire. The remaining bandits were about to rush in to extinguish the fire when Deus's icy voice rang out, You can't put it out. The bandits froze, their bodies drenched in cold sweat. Deus casually continued, a purple flame still flickering on his hand. No matter what magic you use, this fire will never stop burning. You can't die, you'll just burn like this forever, until the end of the world. He then good-naturedly asked the remaining bandits, anyone else want to be cremated with him? This punishment was truly worse than death, and the bandits naturally didn't want to experience it. They scrambled onto their horses and fled, screaming, Whoa, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Deus looked down at the girl. All right, you can go. The girl, sweating profusely, forced a smile. Wait, sir, the bandits also occupied our temple. She shyly smiled, her eyes narrowed. The nuns have all been taken as slaves, and the holy relic is gone. Please, eliminate the bandits. Deus, with a disdainful sniff, replied indifferently, No, I don't do menial work, causing the girl to become so angry that she nearly crushed the carriage. Deus turned to Alex, saying, Let's go. Yes, master, Alex replied, but then the girl suddenly shouted. Deus, with his pinky finger still in his nostril, nonchalantly waited to see what she wanted. The girl's face was drenched in sweat. She was desperately trying to come up with a last-ditch reason to keep them. You mentioned dragons, didn't you? Could you be an ally of the hero in trousers? The temple occupied by the bandits is the shrine of the supreme golden dragon god. If you drive them away, we will reward you. If you drive them away, we will reward you with the golden dragon god's armor. Deus stopped his nose picking. His eyes narrowed into slits like a snake's when he saw a tempting prize. What are we still doing here? And so, they began their new journey, their heavy feet climbing the leafy stairs. Their breaths were ragged, but something felt off. Alex's gasping voice said, Master, they finally stopped. Deus asked, What? Alex gasped, They can't fly up there. He was panting. He'd spent hundreds of years as a ghost. Of course, it was because Deus had been standing on his back, making him climb the stairs. Deus replied, with utmost obviousness, How could we fly? I'm not the Demon King, Alex desperately cried. Then at least let me carry you normally. My legs are going to break. His lament was so mournful that even the birds flew away. Deus said, I am the dignity of the demon world, Alex sarcastically retorted. I thought you said you weren't the Demon King. The two continued to argue as they climbed. Alex was now sweating profusely. He said, But it's strange. Looking up at the higher stairs, dozens of meters away from them, the girl in the yellow shirt was still walking like flying. She had been running continuously for 30 minutes. On such a steep mountain, with the physical strength of a normal person, she can walk continuously and hum while walking. Deus calmly put his hands in his pockets, standing on Alex's back. He looked at the girl, who she is doesn't matter. Alex, below, was still breathing like a horse, looking questioningly at Deus. Deus's eyes were sharp, killing intent emanated from his red pupils. I don't know what she wants, but if she dares to lie, I'll peel her alive. But Deus stopped for a moment and looked up. The girl was still enthusiastic as she walked and kept humming, asking her question, Does the golden-legged dragon god also worship the god? Alex frowned and gasped and said no, but it was similar to him being worshipped in the demon world, so the golden dragon's legs were the divine dragon that stood above all dragons. To be more precise, we, the demon race, the dragon race, and the human race, all living things in this world, have only one God. That is the Creator God. You gave birth to this world. The overall picture of all three races appears to coexist in one world. Deus still looked up, but he didn't say anything. The sun still shines brightly on the top of my head, Deus exclaimed. I think I also favor humans too much. Demons and dragons are just supporting characters. Alex quickly corrected himself. Don't doubt that God is the only truth, perfect love. If we can occupy the place where God's light shines, we will also be favored. Beneath the mountain is a peaceful kingdom illuminated by the light of the heavenly eye full of life. Deus pondered for a moment and concluded, a strange way to show love. Alex did not hesitate and continued his mission of carrying Deus up the mountain. The moment he reached the top of the mountain, Alex exclaimed, and then he completely collapsed. Deus leisurely stepped on his head and even despised you for being weak. Poor Alex was trampled under his thick nose and could only scream. Deus looked ahead. An ancient temple appeared in front of him. Swollen above the gate was a very detailed dragon head made of stone. Deus calmly walked in and threw back to Alex, who was still lying unconscious. When you go down, you still have to carry me, there. The two of them pushed open the stone door and called out to the female priest. Deus' greedy eyes looked inside. He couldn't hide his excitement and asked the bandits with the golden dragon's head's helmet to quickly hand it over to me. Alex still hasn't recovered his physical strength. Remind the owner to be careful if something is wrong. Indeed, the stone door behind them suddenly closed with a bang. Everything became dark, and a voice came out. A powerful blonde woman sits in an invisible space. her face obscured by an extremely delicate veil. Behind her is a wide-open dragon eye staring straight ahead. She smiles and walks on her way. After a hard time, it seems like your subordinates are smarter than you. Deus still smiled brightly. He looked at the woman. You look like the bandit who occupied this temple. Where's the armor? Alex, in the back, was extremely worried about his master's IQ. She sat levitating, swinging her legs, observing the two below. How dare you speak? You still don't understand your situation, do you, Neil? Before you is. She paused for a few seconds, as if about to reveal something terrifying. Her eyes shined brightly, introducing the dragon god as the ruler of the dragon clan and also the mother of all types of golden dragons, the only one being the golden dragon. Hearing that, Deus's face was shocked and his eyes turned into a letter O. Alex in the back also exclaimed in surprise, God of the golden dragon, why is my lord in big trouble? Deus just The woman laughed even more madly. Are you surprised because this is beyond your coward's expectations, you stupid mortal? Her eyes were filled with excitement and fear. Please beg me to go, I'm not a petty person. Deus rubbed his chin and thought, dear God dragon that's interesting. When she saw Deus say that, she thought she was in the upper hand. You finally understand, to make up for your mistake, I order you. Before she could finish, Deus interrupted, what's all this rambling about dragon laws and dragon mothers? I mean, I also want some cool titles like that. Deus pinched his thin nostrils, his expression crude and arrogant, infuriating her. The dragon mother, enraged, spewed fire. Deus turned to Alex, laughing uproariously. Every time I introduce myself, I feel something's missing. Lord of Darkness, top 2 extraordinary man, what do you think, Alex? Alex's eyes lit up. He applauded, indeed, my master. The dragon mother, ignored like air, was so furious her leg muscles tensed. Weakly, she tried to regain her composure, but the two simply turned away coldly. The dragon mother, sweating and on the verge of tears, hissed, stop this nonsense, beg for your life, don't you want to apologize? Deus looked innocent. I didn't do anything to you, did I? Yes, she yelled angrily, pointing at them, yesterday, you killed a dragon, I am the mother of all dragons, you killed my child. Deus chuckled, you're making a big fuss over that. The woman lightly stepped on the air and flew up. She dashed forward, closing in on Deus, but he remained motionless, his lips curled into a gentle, confident smile, the smile of a powerful being. They drew close, their eyes locked. Deus said, only that, so you choose death. Instantly, a wall of fire appeared, surrounding them. This is the Jade Realm. The dragon mother's eyes blazed, even if you're a demiurge, you stand no chance against me. Alex, clutching his hat, stood within the flames. The Jade Realm, this is the territory of the true golden dragon, we're on her turf, fighting her is incredibly dangerous, dragon mother. She smirked triumphantly, your subordinate is quite knowledgeable, now, Neil, number 666. Even though you know who I am, you still do this. This sentence makes her confused. Deus's eyes changed, burning like hellfire as he stared at her. In a low voice, he said, if you're the true golden dragon, I might as well peel off your face and use it. Prepare yourself, I'm about to peel you open. The dragon mother's eyes flashed with light, not daring to believe that the arrogant person in front of her dared to say such a thing. She asked, how dare you?